Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I look a bit how you going today, but yeah, I've just had a chill day and I had a coffee with a friend and yeah, I just went to the shops and so forth. So this is me on your average day when I'm not dressed up. So today I was just thinking about like what I wanted to make my next video about, and it's sometimes quite difficult to pick the right topic. A topic where I could focus on focus on it in length but not in ramble and not go for ages. So today's topic that I wanted to talk about is medication and what role it played in my journey and in my recovery. I think a lot of people get really passionate about if they love medication, if they think it works and they think that's the bee's knees type thing, or some people are totally against it and would say CBT and counselling and so forth are a better alternative than popping a pill. So for me, I would say that medication didn't play a huge part in my recovery, like hardly much at all. For the last 15 months or so, I do have medication. I have a tiny bit of medication to help me sleep at night, and I was simply prescribed that at the beginning to help with my sleep because I was struggling with insomnia and I could not sleep properly, therefore it had affected my mood and my day-to-day life. So I agree with that part. However, I think some medications that a doctor or psychiatrist can prescribe are very addictive and do more harm than good. So for me, I started at a really high dose. And it kind of started as a PRN. So a PRN is basically a band-aid. It's just a short-term fix to help kind of the crisis there and then. Sorry, my dog is just cuddling with me. So as I said, I started with quite a high dosage, and I did start for a PRN factor before it got increased for the night time, for me to sleep at night time. Now, I find that quite confronting because when I was really, really unwell, people would kind of throw these medications at me that would give me that quick fix. And I can't say that it didn't work and it wasn't a good idea, because now being out of those crisis moments, I'm not sure what I would do as a clinician for that young person struggling greatly and in a really, really scary time in their life. So there would have had to be a reason why that was given to me. Yeah, so I'm not against it, but these days I'm not really for it because they don't play a big part in my life. So I think the stigma and people's beliefs around medication and mental health are good and bad. Some people who are uneducated about mental health think if you're struggling, have some medication and hopefully that will help or fix you. Just like if something physically was wrong with you. Now, I kind of get that, but I kind of don't, because it's not an easy fix and it's not a quick fix. I think definitely the chemicals and the use of medication can be beneficial for playing a percentage of getting you back on the right track. But I also think it shouldn't be just down to what medication you're taking. I think you need to remember like how much work you do on yourself and within your recovery to keep stable, and that's something that I don't want people to forget, because it kind of goes in like with both hands. Like, you do the hard work and you might be assisted with medication for the chemical imbalance or for what's happening within you, but it doesn't mean you're not doing any work on yourself. So I don't know if this is making sense, but this is just my view on medication. So I'm not for it and I'm not against it. I think depending what's happening with you, it can be a really useful solution for a short-term fix. But I also understand if being on medication for long periods, like with my sleeping medication, it has helped, I would say, stable my mood out. But it's just a hard one. So I think it works for some people and it doesn't for others. I think to be wary about how addictive prescription medication can be. It's a serious thing. People do become addicted to it, and just like any other drug or addiction, it can be as harmful, if not worse, because you can just buy it over the counter or just have people often use and abuse their scripts, and sometimes I get that. Sometimes we haven't reached that point where we can understand what's happening for us, and I think for me, because I didn't have any major personality, like I had personality disorders and they looked at me for bipolar and so forth, but I didn't have, say, what's schizophrenia or severe post-traumatic stress disorder. I didn't have, I wasn't diagnosed with them. I did suffer a bit of it here and there, but sorry, my phone just stopped it. So just from my point of view, it did help a little bit, but I wouldn't give the credit to just medication, because I definitely did. I did about 10 years of therapy, and 10 years of working on myself, so that's all I really want to say today. I'm a bit exhausted, but I just wanted to jump on here as the thought came into my head. I thought, why not talk to the camera and share my point of view on medication. So, if you like what you watch and if you connect with it, please subscribe. Please keep viewing, share it, do whatever you want. And I hope that someone today might be having those thoughts in their head about, does medication work for me or does it not? And I thought I'd just reach out and connect and say that this is my story. And okay, bye guys, thanks.